Hello, good evening.
Charlie, close the door for me.
Listening to my program, Political Affairs. In our Political Affairs program tonight, we are assessing the growing trend of terrorism attack in the West African sub-region. In fact, statistics shows that within the first quarter of this year alone, 346 terrorist attack has been recorded across the African continent. Out of that figure, 49% of those terrorist attacks have occurred in the West African sub-region alone. Indeed, Ghana's immediate neighbor Togo lost 10 soldiers just a week ago in one such terrorism attack. As such, government of Ghana is leaving no stone unturned as it began to ask its citizens to take their personal security seriously. Just a while ago, in a press conference addressed in Ghana's capital, Accra, the Deputy National Security Coordinator, Edward Asumeni, revealed that though Ghana has become a target, the security apparatus of the country is turning no stone unturned. Before that, let me ask my producer to give it a video. Can you send me a video on what it is? All right. You have the video? I'm asking my producer to send me the video, and so that okay, that's right.
For terrorism, that we are not insulated from those attacks. That means we all have to be vigilant. Also, we know that the terrorists want access to the sea. The nature of the various attacks we've also had in the sub-region indicates that wherever they go, there's some form of mineral or natural resource there, particularly gold. So the question therefore is, if they attack cities in towns in Burkina Faso that has gold deposits, clearly Ghana would be an interest. This has been the pinnacle of the southward drift of the terrorist. We are clearly therefore a target. We are of the view that when Ghanaians own their personal security, when Ghanaians are aware of their environment and conscious of their environment, it would reduce the threat of an attack on our country. We are a proud nation, proud people. We have a robust security and intelligence architecture. But it's not complete when Ghanaians are not fully switched on or are on board with us. That is why we are here today, to seek the support of all Ghanaians. We are not panicking. We are on top of the situation.
So that was a clip played, and that was coming from Edward Asmeni, who is the security coordinator. As part of steps to preempt any such attack on Ghana, the government of Ghana is launching a number of initiatives on Tuesday to help citizens volunteer information to the security couples. Take a listen to the Minister of Information, Kojo Nkrumah, speaking just a while ago. The second video. Yeah. My producer is trying to get that video onto the set. All right.
By now that the West African region is in recent weeks inundated with attacks
by extremist elements, some of which have occurred as close as 50 kilometers to Ghana's northern frontiers. Now, as recently as the 11th of May 2022 in Togo, about 10 military persons died as a result of one such terrorist attack. Increasingly, intelligence reports suggest that some Ghanaians have been involved in terrorist attacks in the Sahelian region. What this signals is that there has been the possible recruitment of Ghanaians by some of these terrorist groups in the West African sub-region. The Ministry of National Security has authorized an increased level of awareness among the intelligence community and seeks to deepen engagement with the Ghanaian public in line with contemporary security practices. We are therefore at this point specifically drawing the attention of persons in the Ghanaian jurisdiction to be more observant and vigilant about our security ecosystem and to draw the attention of the police, other security agencies, and local community leaders immediately they observe anything out of the ordinary. Of particular interest are non-residents seen mobilizing youth or circulating extremist material in person or virtually with objective of whipping up sentiments to attack people or public installations. Additionally, we're encouraging persons in the Ghanaian jurisdiction to observe and be on the lookout for abandoned or suspicious packages in public places for quick attention of security persons. In the coming days, we'll also be rolling out a full campaign aimed at mobilizing and providing persons in the Ghanaian jurisdiction with more security education.
So
Oh,
we are asking, how prepared is Ghanaian security apparatus in the face of a looming terrorist attack? And why has West Africa become so attractive to terrorism? Who are behind these terrorism groups? What are their interests? And will the region survive this? To get these answers to these critical questions, we are fortunate to be joined by Adib Sani from Ghana. He is a security and foreign policy analyst. We have also been joined by Bill Godson from the border town of Aflau near the Republic of Togo. He is a security and conflict analyst. Gentlemen, thank you for coming.
thank you very much for having me.
Adib, the first question is going to go to you. 340.
Good evening and thank you.
Oh, good evening, Habib. You remember the last time we had a conversation? I said you were going to come back if Russia is still in Ukraine. And you said never, it's not going to happen, and you are here. Anyway, let me go straight to the point. Habib, this is the first question. 346 terrorist attack within the first quarter. And 49% of those attacks happen in West Africa. Why has West Africa become so attractive to terrorism? Habib.
Okay. First of all, let me say a good evening to you, my good friend, and of course, all of you who have joined. Unfortunately, on this occasion, I'm finding it a bit difficult to hear you. The sound seems to be so low,
Okay.
and I'm hoping it will be rectified. Okay, so you asked why West Africa is attractive, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So terrorists don't wake up in the morning and decide to target. They are pushed by three major issues. One is the motive. Why are they interested in you? Why do they want to come after you? Two is the means, whether they have the capacity, the capability to come after you. And the third one is the opportunity, whether you are ill prepared, whether your security is good, whether it is weak, that gives them that opportunity. And perhaps if you have human insecurities, that makes it very easy for them to come in, take advantage of local grievances and, recruit people. That, of course, is the opportunity. Let's not forget that there are quite a number of groups operating within the Sahel region and towards the coastal areas. Ansar Deen, Ansar Sharia, Al Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, ISIS in the Greater Sahara. We have Boko Haram and a whole host of other groups who are enjoying themselves, so to speak, within the Sahel region, mostly because of the human insecurities. We have a lot of ungoverned spaces with people living on less than $1 a day, so much poverty, people not having access to basics of life, such as water, food, sanitation, healthcare, etc. We have a very, huge youth population who are mostly unemployed, with some of them pushed into uncertainty and invariably desperation. So this is good propaganda, so to speak, for the terrorists. So they come around, tell you, hey, the government is against you, we are your friends, and this is what we can do for you. And believe it or not, the areas they occupy, they are able to impose taxes and provide facilities or services that the government is not even able to provide them. Let's not also forget that France is in military alliance with a number of countries, especially the Francophones, such as Operation Barkhane, which recently ended, and is a militarized approach against the terrorists. So obviously they are at war. So they would come after them. We have the G5 Sahel, etc. But Ghana, for example, even though we are not in military alliance with the French, we have the defense cooperation agreement with the US. That makes us that basically means the US would use Ghana as a launch pad against the terrorists. They would use our radio spectrum, they would use our airspace and a whole host of other facilities, even at the airport. So that would also make us susceptible to these terrorists. So it's a myriad of socioeconomic and geopolitical deficits that makes us very attractive to these terrorists. And I must say, over the period, they have made great gains.
All right. Are you, if I may ask, are you saying that Ghana and US are already in an agreement that they could use our airspace and then
Yes.
our lands for any occupation? Is that what you just said? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
The voice, I don't know. I don't know whether I would have to log out and log back in because the voice is so faint.
Okay.
The audio, I can.
Okay, then why don't you log in and log out, and let me go on and then ask Mr. Godson the next question whilst you log in come in. Mr. Godson.
Yep.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, my brother. Yeah.
Yes. How is the Volta region? I know that you are in Akachi right now, getting ready to speak on another radio station. But let me just go straight to the point. Who are likely to benefit? Who are likely behind these attacks, and what are their interests?
Thank you very much once again. I want to thank you for the opportunity, and my greetings to all the viewers, those who are listening to us at this moment.
Right.
If you look at the trend of these terrorists in the sub-region, the question is, which you've already asked, is that what is the motive? Why almost 49% that you've mentioned, right? It means that it's increasing. Who are the people behind it? The people behind it, we want to talk about the people behind it.
Yeah.
We should be looking at why the trend, why the increase of terrorist attack within the sub-region. Okay. Are you getting it? Yeah. So, one, it's increasing because the poverty gap is widening in the sub-region or in Africa.
Okay.
As Abid said, if the system is weak in terms of security, and looking at also the human insecurity, youth unemployment, people are not getting job doing. So that is the motive. Why people will be recruited by these people in operating. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening, Bill.
So it's not about who is behind it. It's a whole concept, depending on where they're coming from. other is economic motive or maybe socio-political motive or religious motive. But from where I'm coming from, it's more or less of socio-economic. For instance, if a country like Ghana, we are looking at what happened in Burkina Faso and also in Togo. And my conversation with them revealed that, yes, it's true. Between 8 to 10 officers died.
Right.
Could you imagine what would have caused this small country? And Togo don't joke with their security system.
Right.
What is the cause? What is the motive behind the attack?
Okay.
So it's not only about the gold. It's not only about the mineral resource that we have in Ghana, but we are looking at bad governance system in the sub-region.
Okay.
We are looking at government not being accountable to the people.
Right.
The youth have not gotten job doing. These are the factors that will have made the youth in a sub-region or in a given or in a particular country compromising his or her status because he doesn't get in her own country.
So are we saying that what the unemployment issues that we are finding in Ghana is the same thing that is traveling all over the sub-region, Nigeria, Togo, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Senegal? Is it the same thing that is going all over? I'm receiving a feedback from somebody's phone, or I don't know, his. But let me.
I can also get feel it.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I can still getting the feedback.
Yes, I don't know where that is coming from. Either somebody is listening to the program. Is somebody listening to the program by your side? Okay, all right. Abib,
Yes.
before you logged off, you stated certain things like the reason why we are seeing terrorism in the sub-region is that human or insecurity, the motive, the means, and then the opportunities. Can you elaborate a little bit on the opportunities?
I didn't hear you.
All right.
And I think the audio is from your side. I could hear Godson clearly, but the audio is quite faint
Right.
from your side. So I can't hear you, unfortunately.
Godson, can you hear me?
It's better. It's
I can hear
okay.
you loud
I'm
and clear.
struggling, but
Yeah. So Gordon can hear me loud and clear. And are you listening to? I don't know, because there's
The feedback is still coming.
It's coming from somebody. The feedback is coming from somebody. I think Habib, the feedback is coming from you.
really,
Because, yes, it's coming from you because.
but I'm not listening to the program anywhere. I'm tuned just here.
All right. Okay. Gordon, is somebody listening to the program where you are? Okay. Let's just proceed to the question.
Okay.
Habib, you cited some few things like human insecurity, people's motive, means, and then opportunity. Can you elaborate a little bit more on opportunities?
Okay. So for example, with the opportunities, we have porous borders, as you would know. There are so many illegal border crossings across the length and breadth of the country. I understand when you leave Accra, by the time you get to the Aflao border, there are over 150 illegal border crossings. When you go to Hamley, Zabzugu, Sabuba, and some other places, I've been to a number of all of these places, and I've seen how people cross the Rivoti without being subjected to any form of security check. So obviously, this gives the terrorists a great opportunity to move not only men, but weapons. This is on the back of a UN report published earlier this year that indicated that there's a terrorist warehouse in Ghana, Togo, and of course in Benin. So obviously, this is a cause for worry. We have Western, bilateral, stuff in terms of commerce, trade, other businesses. We have relations militarily and all that. So that could also make the terrorists think that, hey, we are at war with them. And that is also on the back of Mukhtar Bel Mukhtar, one of the terrorist leaders who in the past said, asked his people to go after all Western targets, including their collaborators. So by collaborators, what he means is if you have anything to do with the West, you are a collaborator. Okay. So that, of course, was also something that raised concerns within the West African sub-region. We have the proliferation of small arms and light weapons, particularly even in Ghana. As of 2014, according to the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, we have well over 2 million guns in the system. That is 8 years ago. So 8 years down the line, you can imagine how many more would have been in the system. We have 352 unresolved chieftaincy disputes in Ghana. What do you think that is? An opportunity to the terrorists. And recently, there was a police cable that was leaked, sent to the Upper East Regional Command, talking about the fact that some fighters were coming from Burkina to fight in Boku, and they were on their way back, and the police should be on the lookout. So they take advantage of these conflicts, come to you and go like, we can help you, we can support you, you provide us shelter. That is an opportunity.
This is a very serious issue, but it draws mine. Yeah. You know what? Let me change the system here. Just give me a minute. Let me just change the system here.
I think I might also have to log out and log. I think I might also have to log out and log back in.
I think it's better now, right?
Yeah, you are better. You are better.
Right. Okay. Let me listening to Habib. I'll throw this question to Bill. Bill, the last time Ghanaians heard they were going to be terrorists or dissidents, that was in the 80s. In the 80s when Rawlings was on the throne, and we heard dissidents were coming, and then some of them managed to come in, and then we toppled them, etc., etc. I mean, we've always had this Alavano gun issue. We've always had guns and things all over. People buy illegal guns and things all over. But Ghanaians, what do we have? We are very loving peace, loving people. We don't. So I'm surprised that all these things are coming up. I think all the examples they are setting, there are things that have been with us every day now and then, and we don't hear anything like Osama bin Laden's people are in country, in Ghana, etc., etc. I mean, to some of us, I'm the question. I'm just. It's like as if another trying to scare everybody all away that somebody's approaching the country.
No, Martin, this is not about scary people or me. This is not a way of creating fear and panic in the country. It's a reality.
Yeah, because they've always been unemployment in Ghana. In Ghana, they've always been unemployment.
So that is where I am coming from. That in the midst of all these things, we should be looking at as a state, as a country, as a government, as politicians, as leaders in Africa. What is it that we are not doing right that is pushing these people coming in or expanding their, territorial jurisdiction?
Right.
Do you understand it? So, if you look at the movement from the Mali, Somalia, down to Burkina Faso, now Togo, and the attempt to even enter Ghana through Burkina Faso.
Right.
So, Martin, it's not just a fear. It's not something that we are creating, but it's happening. And most of the people looking at the internal conflict and unresolved, security issues, or maybe reports that are supposed to be submitted for maybe fair justice system or whatever. This is all, factors that can trigger this terrorist attack within the country.
All right.
Now, don't forget that, as Abi said, 8 years ago, according to Kofi Annan report,
right,
we're having almost 8 million unregistered gun into the system. Where do they pass into the country? How and where do they manage to bring it? Our borders, the porous nature of our borders.
Okay.
So we need to look at the issue from holistic approach. What is it that the leaders are not doing well? What is our role that we're supposed to play as a government, as politicians, as leaders, as parliamentarians to ensure that this is stop? As a technocrat, what do we have to do as a citizen? So if politicians or maybe the Minister of Information, right, Honorable Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah,
Right.
is advising, and yes, it's good to have advice, but they also have a role to play.
Yeah. In fact, I want to get into the head of the terrorists.
Okay.
I just want to get into the head of the terrorists. Are they coming in to topple the government, or they are coming in to establish camps to train people to start terrorizing people all over the sub-region? I want us to get into their head. Are they coming in to topple the government? Because one, before a terrorist can even invade Ghana, then he will need some collaborators who are Ghanaians. Now, do the Ghanaians know that by making an attempt to topple your own government, that is treason and penalty is death? Do they even know all these things?
Good question.
Yes.
See, the terrorists will not come and act in isolation. Definitely, they need the local knowledge. They need the local force. They need a community. They need some, youth within the community to operate. So the question is that, he said, why are they coming in? The motive of the formation of that particular group, are they coming with the motive of what? As maybe because Ghana is having a strong relation with what? Maybe US, or Ghana is playing a role that is affecting their operation in another country, or is it as a result of the fact that some of our youth that have not got a job doing, or they are taking advantage of our system, that because of unemployment rate, we can recruit our younger or our brothers and sisters to champion this agenda? They might not be necessarily coming to topple the government. It could be that because they are taking advantage of the situation, that is unemployment rate, because the youth are agitating, and then the conflict within the country. If these things have not been resolved, and the way and manner the youth are agitating, right, they are also studying. Don't forget that these people are not just ordinary people. They are people who have gone to school to study. They study security, and they mastered it perfectly. So that when they sit down, they are assessing each country, just as the way US will write a report about a country. These terrorists also sit down and they assess each country, what is their weakness, what is their strength, and how to be able to penetrate.
Right. Another question is coming up right now. Fine. You've been able to establish the objectives of terrorists, people who want to come into the country. What about our own brothers and sisters, the local personnel who create safe havens for them? Do they know the laws of this country? Do they know that by trying to abet and to even topple your government, penalty is death, and that's called treason? Do they know? Do they have knowledge about the consequences of associating themselves with such wicked groups?
They know, but the point is,
yeah,
if you have gone to school, you finish university, you completed university, you've not got a job doing, you are still sleeping in a room with your parent. So the anger in you will have caused you to compromise your status as a citizen. Because you don't have anything, these youths don't have anything to lose if they have to go and collaborate with these people, because they are angry with the system. They were thinking, or their objective is to finish university. The system will take care of them by providing them job so that they can live their normal life. If they've not got a job to do, if they've not got anything to do, they wake up in the morning, they have to sit under the tree and play draft. They have to sit under the tree and then maybe Martin, it's a serious issue that we need to look at holistically. Otherwise, this issue, the terrorists themselves will don't have to move from wherever they are to come to Ghana. They will take advantage of the way the manner the police are managing the crowd, the way the manner the military are shooting innocent people, unresolved conflict. These are the factors that will necessitate the youth, regardless of the law that says that when you are found, in associating with these people, that is a first-degree felony.
Yeah.
But do they care? They don't mind if they have to lose their life.
Okay. So I know the government is on top of issues. I mean, I've always trusted the Ghana military, right from how do you call it, right from independence till today. It's like you see them always in the bar quiet, but they have all their informations, everything. Well, so let's see. It looks like the reason why all this thing is happening is that youth unemployment, and so therefore most of the blame should be placed on the politicians, isn't it? Okay, so what should they do? What should they do?
What should who do?
What should the politicians do? I mean, because already the youth are complaining unemployment. All right, I don't think we can create employment for everybody within 1 year. So what should they do? Those in the helm of affairs.
Within the sub-region.
Yes, within the sub-region.
Within the sub-region, because whatever is happening in Togo can happen in Ghana, can happen anywhere. Whatever happened in Mali, in Nigeria. Let's use a classical example of Boko Haram.
Okay.
How did Boko Haram form? How was it formed? It started as a militant group who were siphoning, fuel, crude oil. They started establishing, buying weapons, and then now it's a serious threat to the sub-region, to the West Africa, to ECOWAS. Now, what I'm thinking as a student, it's a regional collaboration.
Right.
We need a effective regional collaboration.
Okay.
ECOWAS, African Union will have to really look at their counter-terrorism, system, review it to meet the current contemporary terrorist threat that we are facing. The same way with the West Africa, ECOWAS will also have to look at their counter-terrorism measures put in place or protocol, relook at it. Now, the politicians themselves will have to be honest to one another. Tell your colleague, politician or a leader, president, that the way, the manner you are running the country, the kind of governance system you are practicing is a cause of ABCD. Let's tell them the truth. Let's be frank here, Martin. Why should a young man who is working who have to go and compromise with the terrorist group? It's a matter of butter and bread here. Let us not use any jargon, whatever. No, let's come to reality. Fundamentals. Basic one. When you go to Aflau border, the youth over there, the community is a border community. The immigration or the custom officer is only interested in making money because the government is paying you to secure the border. Though we have a very good border security management system in place, but the individual officers that sit over there, no, they say, I saw it. They allow people to collect money and then leave the people to go. So the nature of our borders is so porous, it's so compromised with these officers who are only interested in coming to Aflau to make to make money or to come to border town to make money. So we need to be looking at the issue from a structural and non-structural point of view. Looking at how best we can work on the youth, how they can get a job. Of course, we cannot, government cannot employ all the youth, but they have to make an enabling environment for private sector to also get some percentage out of it. Government will also get some.
Right.
Let us not play politics when it comes to security. It's a shared responsibility. We cannot put the blame at the doorstep of only the politician.
In fact,
Government. Yes, go ahead.
To be honest with you, when it comes to unemployment in Ghana, when I sit down and then I think about it and I want to begin to think where to start from, it's a problem. I mean, it's like, where can we start from? Because like this thing has been going on for a very long time, and it's like it seems like we are not getting solutions to it. And I'm afraid to say that I don't know, because if this is what is making our people to be in bed with these terrorists, then I think as a nation we are in trouble. We are in trouble.
We are in trouble, actually.
Yes,
We are in trouble.
We are in trouble. Let me
But
ask
of
you,
course,
yes.
okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Can you tell me the origin of some of these terrorists? Because definitely it should be coming from somewhere. They should have they were born by a woman. They should be coming from somewhere. If you can just give me the origin of where these people are coming from.
The origin, this group started, as I said, I was saying that this is started as a agitation, maybe a group of youth who have not gotten a job doing in their various country with a different motive. And then they begin to link up with these jihadis and then Islamic, group that also have their own objective. Some are even religious, some are maybe their motive is against anything from the West. It's a curse, it's a haram.
Right.
You understand it? Education, Boko Haram, anything from the West is what? It's a haram.
Right.
So it started as a group, a young group, unemployed group, or group that are so much agitation of what? Government not managing their resources. That is from the economic perspective. But from the religious angle, where you are looking at Islamic, terrorist attack, they will be attacking maybe the West or anybody who is in support of the West. You are against us.
Right.
If you're not for us, then it means that you are against us. If your friend is a US, then it means that you are against us. If your friend is America, then it means that you are against us. But they don't have one common objective, depending on the angle where they are going. Otherwise, September 11, do you think it was, are they coming to come and pick a oil reserve in America? No. Boko Haram in Nigeria, I think 6 or 8 years ago, when we did our analysis at Kofi Annan, it was just a small group of people who have been going there to steal oil, crude oil and sell. The piracy in Mali, how did it start? They start going to the sea, high sea, to go and then rob the ship and then bring their stuff and come and sell.
Yeah, that was in Somalia. I mean, the
Somalia and then Sahel region,
Al-Shabaab guys. Yeah.
So they all have a different objective of formation, or maybe targeting a group. If we should be honest to ourselves, as African leaders, that the way, the manner these people are coming up, if you cannot use force, then you should find a way of resolving the issue. Now, Boko Haram has come to stay. Even if they kill their leaders, every now and then they are recruiting.
Right.
As a country, as a continent, as a sub-region, we need to be honest to these politicians, these African leaders, that It's as a result of bad governance system. These terrorists are taking advantage of the weak system and then recruiting the youth, and they are using the youth against the system because the system is not favoring the youth.
I think there is somebody here. I don't know whether if that is Abib. Somebody's trying to join the line. Excuse me. I guess you're not supposed to be on this program. You're just listening to the program. So I'm going to take you off. I'm going to take you off. Um, so the origin of that problem is youth unemployment and etc. etc. And then it's just if our leaders can just listen to the plight of our youth, I don't think any of them will even like themselves to be compromised by any external forces. Let's talk about our security services. Are they up to the tax? Are they up to the tax?
Of course,
Correct. That's what I want to hear.
as for they are up to the task or not, structural wise, you can see the fixing of cameras and then on the street and then along our borderline and all those things. Yes, but
Correct.
are they up to the task in terms of non-structural? That is the way we manage the internal grievances or maybe riots, the conflicts, the justice system. Are the people getting the fair hearing? How are they able to manage the anger in the youth? I don't know whether you realize that these days, any little provocation, you see that there's a riot.
Yeah.
These are the factors that should be telling us that if care is not taken. And then I want to make reference to this in submission that we have more weapon.
There is a question coming from Ashama Observer. He said that are we sure the measures being put in place by the government of Ghana will work effectively? What measurements? What measures? I mean, he just put a question across, and I'm just reading his text message. He says that are we sure the measures being put in place by the government of Ghana will work effectively? Is it the causing everybody to be on alert if and you hear anybody, you see something strange, you draw the security personnel, you alert them or what? Is that a measure? Is that a measure he's talking about?
I don't see that, Martin.
Yes.
I don't see that as a measure. Rather, I see it as you are sensitizing the community about the imminent that is approaching.
Yeah.
So the government has a role to play in terms of countermeasure or how to counter these things. The community also has a role to play. So I'm yet to see a whole strategy that Ghana we already have existing counter-terrorism approach or maybe unit or maybe protocol step that will be taken. So current education that the minister and then the coordinator were talking about, yes, we should be able to look at it from that angle. Our ceremonial rules, maybe Independence Square, when you go there, you see junkies, sleeping over there.
Right.
When you go to Parliament House, behind the Parliament House, you have Osu Cemetery. People are there smoking weed. They are doing other things there.
Right.
And then you see on the street of Accra, you see a Nigerian or Malian, begging for money.
Right.
You go, you see the children, coming into your car, trying to see if you can give them money or whatever.
Right.
These are things that we need to look at and then put a stop to.
Yeah.
Some of the areas will have to be designated as a security zone.
Right.
The taxi driver needs to be, how do you call it? Need to be educated. The total drivers need to be educated. the churches, the bigger as where we have a national theater and whatever, there must be a review of counter-terrorism, measures across.
Yeah. All right.
You cannot be in church without you have a church of over 500 or 800 or 1,500 people under one roof.
And you have
Without having,
you have only two exits.
you have only two exits. From a human security angle, any little shout, there will be stampede.
Yes, I understand.
So the churches has a role to play. The tradition, the mosque, the pastors or the chief imam, and then those people have a role to play.
Right.
And this is it needs internal collaboration with all these stakeholders.
Right.
The GPRT will have to come in there. The churches will have to come in there. The Muslim community will have to come in there. The petty traders, the individual, even especially those along community borders,
Right.
have to be involved. It's not a matter of sitting and tell the people that okay, you have to look at the when you go, you have to look left or right and see someone is following. How will you know if the person is a Ghanaian? If that agent is not a Malian or is not coming, it's not it's a known face. So let's look at the internal security, issues that could trigger that attack. So that if the government is taking care of that, then the individual or maybe the citizen or maybe the other stakeholders will also play their role.
Somebody, Asham Observer just sent another text message, and I'll read this one. He said, could this attack be backed by the West just to cause mayhem so they could have their way? And somebody's also saying this.
I don't see that. I don't see that. Why should the West? So there's no correlation between the West supporting the terrorists against country. I don't see it.
Well, yeah.
I don't know whether I'm making sense.
Oh yes, you are.
Because there's no way somebody will have to finance terrorist attack to be able to score a point, or maybe because you've made a projection. Let's assume that you've made a projection.
Yeah.
The projection you made is that you are anticipating that there should be terrorist attack in Ghana or in a sub-region or in maybe very soon. Then you go and then support a terrorist group,
yeah,
to confirm your prediction.
Well, so many things have happened in this world, and then I don't think I would like to visit those things, even though some of those informations that are on, they are no more classified now, they are out there. But I will have to bring you back on this show and then get Habib, because terrorism is a global thing. Even the United States government is fighting its own terrorism, both internally and externally every day. We are intelligent personnel are on the ground every day all over the world trying to get information, etc., etc. In America, there's something we say here: see something, say something. It's a slogan over here. Even when you go to the smallest little girl in a primary school, see something, say something. I think we need to adopt that slogan in Ghana. That's the fundamental slogan. You see something, you say something, and then nobody should be a hero. I mean, no one should say, I want to be a hero, I want to put this thing down. You see something, you draw up the necessary how do you call it, personnel so supposed to tell that. And when information gets to them, they should act quickly on information. They shouldn't just sleep over it and say, oh, it's what I don't think anything dangerous will come out of it, etc., etc. But Efo, can you share your last word? Your last word, because I'm going to bring you back on this program next week or next 2 weeks, God willing.
Okay.
Yes. Your last word.
Very simple. What I want to say is that the threat of a terrorist attack in Ghana should not be underestimated.
Correct.
It's real. The people are very close to us, very, very close. So those those brothers of ours that are on the borderline, they carry motor and they need to be very vigilant. And our border security management system will have to relook at the movement. And then if the CCTV camera are working, they have to step up the game. And then internally, we need to be very careful how we respond to the internal, conflict and then the riots that are happening. You can't go to maybe to stop a group of people in a community that are expressing their grievances. Then you go with a shoot to kill. No.
Yeah.
So please, these are the factors that could lead to that could cause a young boy to compromise his status as a citizen,
Right.
to compromise his status and allow external people to come and attack, use him to attack the system. So basically, all that I have for the youth. But the government also should make sure that he make sure that he provide a
You do
job
the
for the
right
youth.
thing. They
He do
provide a
the
job.
right thing.
Yes.
You understand it?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I mean, I can say you are speaking out of a lot of passion, and I could feel that pain in you. I mean, your own countrymen, you step out there, and then, as you said, you walk around the Liberation Circle, the Osukasi Circle. You see people under the tree there just smoking weed, and just over there, you see those Mali people begging. I mean, it's really something. I mean, we look back, we look at our country, and we say, for all these years now, after independent, we are still struggling. It's like as if we take one step forward, we take 5 steps backwards. I think Ashama Observer has come back with another text. He says, "You see something, you say something." That exactly the strategy the government of Ghana is adopting. Well, we thank them so much. And then it shouldn't only end there. They should make sure they provide jobs, good jobs with good salary for the youth, the up and coming youth, because hey, the youth, they are the future of the country. What do you say? And then, please, ladies and gentlemen, this is Political Affairs. Today, we wanted to begin our first series of terrorism, and then our resource person in the studio is Mr. Bill Godson, and then he was supposed to be here with our brother Adib, who is having problem with his cell phone. He's off the line, but I want to promise you, viewers, in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we're gonna have this great guy back on the show, so that we go deep into what is really causing the terrorism in the sub region and how we can curtail it. When it comes to our security forces, because my father was a soldier and I lived in the barracks, I've always trusted the military. They will do it. But we need more intelligence. Anybody, you see something, you say something. You see somebody carrying a sack across the border, and the person looks very suspicious. The person's eye is left and right. Just quickly, don't be a hero. Just draw the attention of any security person around, and then they should just do it politely and gently. Civil arrest, no beating, no nothing, isn't it? I think there's another question coming. The problem in Ghana today is bad governance. Bad governance matter, ladies and gentlemen, I think the program has come to an end, and then that was coming to that text was coming from Afete Neklom. I mean, I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry about that. The problem in Ghana today is bad governance, etc., etc. So, as I'm saying, civil arrest. You see something, say something. Don't be a hero. Somebody's crossing the border with some sack, person behaving jittery, person behaving suspicious. Just draw the attention of any security person around, or any elderly person around, and then just do a very quiet and gentle and very respectful civil arrest, and then we'll put our country back on our footing. So, for Bill, God bless you. Thank you so much. And I'll be seeing you soon in the next 2 weeks. Right?
Thank you very much. And then
Yes, sir.
enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, terrorism is a global thing. We in the United States, we are also facing ours both internally and externally. But we can all do it if we stick together. You see something, you say something. And even if you want to do any arrest, you see any suspicious person, please do it civilly, do it nice. Don't overdo things. And please don't be a hero, okay? God bless you. And this is Martin Pettigo telecasting live from Pennsylvania. This is Mosatus Media for short, or MWM Focus.